Αγαπητοί φίλοι, γεια σας. Σήμερα είμαι πολύ χαρούμενη. Έχουμε ένα καταπληκτικό θέμα. Έχουμε έναν καταπληκτικό καλεσμένο. Είμαι λίγο αγχωμένη, έχω να πω. Έχουμε μαζί μας τον Dai-Sifu Emin Boztepe.
Hello.
Γεια σου, Emin. Hello. Thank you.
Nice to having me.
Επίσης έχουμε μαζί μας τον Βαγγέλη Σταθόπουλο, ο οποίος είναι Dai-Sifu, σωστά το είπα, εκπρόσωπος Ελλάδος, Ebmas, Wing Tzun Kung Fu, και τον Κώστα Γανωτή, που είναι η δεύτερη φορά που τον έχουμε, ο οποίος είναι εκπρόσωπος στη Θεσσαλονίκη, Ebmas, Wing Tzun Kung Fu. Γεια σας.
Γεια σας.
Χαίρετε.
Θέλετε να μας πείτε λίγο εσείς γιατί έχει έρθει ο Εμίν σήμερα στη Θεσσαλονίκη?
Σήμερα γίνεται ένα σεμινάριο μαθητών και εκπαιδευτών παράλληλα.
Ναι.
Στη Θεσσαλονίκη, στη σχολή του Κώστα.
Ναι.
Και για αυτόν τον λόγο ο Dai-Sifu για εδώ και 4 χρόνια, 12η φορά, έρχεται στην Ελλάδα και τρίτη φορά στη Θεσσαλονίκη.
12 times in Greece?
Already, yes.
Okay.
But I was first time in 2002.
Closest to the microphone. Okay.
First, 2002, I was in Athens.
Okay. In Thessaloniki, third time?
This is the third time.
Okay. And you're having a seminar?
And a blast. Fantastic city.
Λοιπόν, ο Emin Boztepe ασχολείται με τις πολεμικές τέχνες από το 1976 και ασχολείται με διάφορες πολεμικές τέχνες, όπως το Taekwondo, έχω και τους μαθητές εδώ αν μου ξεφύγει κάτι, Shotokan, Muay Thai, τουρκικό freestyle wrestling, boxing, Wing Chun και eskrima latosa. Is that correct?
Perfect.
Έχει εκπαιδεύσει μεταξύ άλλων την αστυνομία της Αλάσκα, την αστυνομία του Κεντάκι, έχει εκπαιδεύσει το FBI, Marine Corps. Well, first I would like to say a big thank you.
Thank you too.
So, you are a citizen of the world because I read your Wikipedia profile. You were born in Turkey and then you have lived in Germany. And yes. Which other countries?
Well, Los Angeles, countries in the United States. I reside in Los Angeles and Istanbul at the present. And of course I have an office in Berlin. Mm-hmm. So, and I travel between the 3 continents.
Λοιπόν, ο Έμιν είναι πολίτης του κόσμου, έχει γεννηθεί στην Τουρκία και έχει ζήσει στη Γερμανία και στις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες, αλλά καταλαβαίνουμε όλοι ότι ταξιδεύει συνέχεια σε όλο τον πλανήτη και εκπαιδεύει πολύ κόσμο. I would like to ask you, how and why you first started your path in the martial arts?
Well, I started with age of 14 in Germany.
Okay.
Because I know everybody knows the history in Germany with Turkish people. Since I'm 66 in Germany, I was 4 years old. You always being a foreigner,
yes,
always different. So really, modern days doesn't matter which countries, everywhere nowadays.
Yes,
you know, so
you were the black sheep.
Yeah, basically, always have to defend yourself, fight, but also inside your family. You know, so. Unrest, parents work all day, they come home stressed, so you get psychological stress from the parents and this and that. So I want to be not only physically strong, but also mentally strong. You know, you cannot go and punch your parents.
Yes.
So, but you have to be physically strong to withhold the psychological pressure, not to give up, you know. So martial arts, I started with this, and basically my father brought me, and in the 60s we watched every Muhammad Ali match.
Okay.
And later in my life, I became friends with late Muhammad Ali. So
really?
So I was also in his cemetery. I prayed for him and everything. So fantastic person as a human being. But this all interests me in martial arts. But then my father, because I had too many fights in school all the time, so he put me in a martial arts school. And my first teacher was Dieter Porzel in Germany, Fritzlar, near Kassel, Frankfurt.
Okay.
And he did some Hosin Soldo. It's a mix between Vietnamese and Korean and Japanese karate. And I did Shotokan with him, Taekwondo. But he was teaching Wing Chun and Eskrima from first day on.
Okay. At the age of 14,
yes,
he told me. Λοιπόν, ασχολήθηκε με τις πολεμικές τέχνες από την ηλικία περίπου των 14 ετών, μετά από προτροπή του πατέρα του. Ο Έμιν Πηγαίνοντας στην Γερμανία, όπως καταλαβαίνετε, ήταν και το μαύρο πρόβατο, και όταν είσαι ξένος σε μια ξένη χώρα, πολλές φορές δέχεσαι και το λεγόμενο bullying. Αλλά εκτός από αυτό, επειδή η ζωή είναι δύσκολη και έχεις και διάφορες άλλες ψυχολογικές πιέσεις και στην οικογένεια, οπότε ήταν ένας τρόπος να γίνει πιο δυνατός και σωματικά και πνευματικά και ψυχολογικά για να αντιμετωπίσει τη ζωή. Ένα από τους δασκάλους του και πρότυπά του θεωρεί το Μοχάμεντ Άλι. How important is it to find a good teacher?
If you a layman don't know, as like you never done martial arts,
okay.
So for you it would be very difficult to know which martial arts is good for you.
Yes.
So, but for people that in the martial arts, they're looking for something more. They know how to look, research about the quality of a character of a teacher. Mm-hmm. So, martial arts for me has all been my life. I never really worked any other job. So, 37 years I'm professional. But it's a matter of character. You really become an instructor because you want to help people.
Yes.
You want to make them better people. Defend is one thing. Physically defending yourself is the key and the fundament of the martial arts you represent. Mm-hmm. But then, you have a relationship with the students. And some of my students, I have over 32 years with me. So
oh, really?
Of course, they don't leave you because you teach them and they're in love with the system, but also they're in trust with you. So loyalty is a gift from a student to you. But the loyalty goes smaller and bigger, depends on what the student wants sometimes. Yes. So I don't care so much about loyalty, but trust, that my student can trust me, that I give the best lesson, best instruction to protect them and also help them to become characterly strong, like become a young woman or man. Mm-hmm. In that sense, that's more important. That binds you rest of your life with your students. Even your students, you leave you. But I know some of them, they're still in contact and they still talk very highly of me and they still trust me. But they want to go different ways. You cannot. It's like children and parents.
Yes.
When you grow up, you go.
You nurture them and they need to fly.
Even it's not easy. You have to let them go. So yes. That's one thing. But when you look, it's really in a master's honesty, how he treats his students, and then of course it's classes. It's good to go and watch 1 or 2 times a class. Check how he's treating the students, check how the quality of the lessons and then how the students are. So these are things.
So there is a bond, a connection.
Later on, of course. But the quality is important. Sometimes, this is my life. I do 41 years martial arts and teach 37 years. But also martial arts, in a way, I'm the biggest critic. So there are a lot of people, they have not achieved much in their real life. They have a black belt or a status of instructor, or they give themselves self-proclaimed sensei, sifu, and then they abuse their students in many, many ways, mentally, emotionally, economically. These are also things I like to warn people. So you really have to study their background. Today is so good. You see, you can go on the internet, show about my history, show who I am,
and check him out.
What I have done, all the works I have completed, and how many students I have developed. So you can check these things and okay, hey. Yes. Now, as a parent, as an example, you have children. A parent should do this before enlisting a child into a school because you want to know what kind of person that instructor is. As a grown-up, it's your own interest that you choose the best instructor in school for you.
Mm-hmm. Λοιπόν, θα κάνουμε μία απόδοση εδώ τώρα. Είναι πολύ σημαντικό να βρεις έναν καλό δάσκαλο στην αρχή και ειδικά στις πολεμικές τέχνες. Ο ίδιος του χτίζει μια σχέση εμπιστοσύνης με τους μαθητές του, η οποία κρατάει πολλά χρόνια, παρόλο που κάποιοι φεύγουν, αλλάζουν, αλλά υπάρχει ένας δεσμός, υπάρχει μια επαφή συνέχεια. Είναι πολύ σημαντικό να προσέχει κάποιος πώς θα επιλέξει το σωστό δάσκαλο, γιατί πάρα πολύ το βιώνουμε και όλοι εμάς όταν ξεκινάμε μια καινούργια δραστηριότητα, ότι μπορεί κάποιος δάσκαλος να σου κόψει τα φτερά, να σε κριτικάρει, να σε χειραγωγήσει. Είναι πολύ σημαντικό να ψάχνουμε πριν.
Αλλά θα ήθελα να πω κάτι.
Στο μικρόφωνο, βέβαια, να προσθέσετε.
Τελείως, θέλω να το κάνεις μετά.
Όχι, πες πάνω σε αυτό.
Σε σχέση με αυτό, ότι το πόσο σημαντικό είναι να βρεις τον δάσκαλο κατά κάποιο τρόπο που σου ταιριάζει.
Ναι.
Okay. Είναι ιδιαίτερα σημαντικό, γιατί ειδικά εδώ στην Ελλάδα υπάρχουν αυτό που λέμε πολλοί απατεωνιά, έτσι θα το πω και λίγο λαϊκά.
Ναι, έτσι να το πεις, βέβαια.
Πολλοί απατεωνιά και πολλοί κόσμος, δηλαδή λίγο πολλοί θέλουν μόνο και μόνο να παίρνουν τα λεφτά σου, να μην σου δείχνουν κάτι, να σου δείχνουν το ελάχιστο από αυτό που ξέρουν.
Ναι.
Ίσως και να μην σου δείχνουν και καθόλου αυτό που ξέρουν. Γενικά υπάρχει μια λογική το να. Πώς να το πω, να σε χαλιναγωγήσουν με έναν τρόπο, ναι, και να είσαι ακόλουθος χωρίς να υπάρχει ιδιαίτερο αντίτιμο, ναι, και διδακτικό μάλλον θα έλεγα.
Δηλαδή να είμαστε προσεκτικοί.
Πρέπει να είσαι ιδιαίτερα προσεκτικός.
Να κάνουμε μια έρευνα.
Ναι, εγώ προσωπικά.
Στο Google.
Ναι, όχι μόνο αυτό. Δεν αρκεί. Πρέπει δηλαδή να κάνεις μια έρευνα και σε σχέση με τον άνθρωπο και να πας να κάνεις και ίδιος προπόνηση.
Δοκιμαστικά. Ναι.
Και να δοκιμάσεις εσύ ο ίδιος σε σχέση και με το σύστημα που ακολουθάς, αλλά και σε σχέση με τον δάσκαλο. Εγώ προσωπικά κάνω κι εγώ πολεμικές τέχνες 19 χρόνια και τα πρώτα 11 χρόνια που έκανα Tzun, ναι μεν ο δάσκαλος μου είχε δυνατότητες, είχε τα λοιπά, αλλά δεν ήταν και ο καλύτερος άνθρωπος. Ναι. Γενικά. Δεν θέλω να αναφερθώ προσωπικά πολύ. Ναι. Αλλά αυτό που λέω αρκεί για όσους το ξέρουν και ξέρουν από που κατάγομαι, δηλαδή, από έχω μάθει. Ναι. Όπως και επίσης παίζει μεγάλο ρόλο και για τις γυναίκες. Οι γυναίκες γενικότερα, το να μπουν να επιλέξουν μια σχολή, πρέπει να είναι και προσεκτικοί, αλλά και πώς διδάσκονται. Δηλαδή, θα έλεγα ότι θέλει και οι γυναίκες και τα παιδιά θέλουν μια ιδιαίτερη συμπεριφορά. Ναι. Όχι ότι είναι κάτι τελείως διαχωρισμένο, αλλά δυστυχώς η κοινωνία μας το διαχωρίζει από μόνο του. Ωραία. Οπότε θέλει και κάποια.
Ωραία, άρα είμαστε προσεκτικοί.
Ιδιαίτερα προσεκτικοί και πρέπει να βρεις αυτό που σου ταιριάζει. Ναι. Πραγματικά θες. Να ταιριάζει στο mentality το δικό, ναι, σου δηλαδή.
Ωραία.
Αυτό.
Να σου πω κι εγώ ένα δευτερόλεπτο.
Επειδή έκανες πάρα πολύ σημαντική ερώτηση, πάρα πολύ σύντομα θα πω το εξής. Θα μιλήσω εγώ για το Dai-Sifu Emin Boztepe και θα πω ότι δεν θέλω να αναφερθώ στο πόσο καλός μαχητής είναι ή στο πόσο αληθινός martial artist είναι, γιατί αυτό είναι κάτι το αποδεδειγμένο παγκοσμίως και κανείς δεν μπορεί να το αρνηθεί. Αυτό το οποίο θέλω να πω είναι αυτό το οποίο δεν μπορούν να γνωρίζουν κάποιοι οι οποίοι δεν τον ξέρουν προσωπικά. Και αυτό είναι ότι είναι ένας ευφιέστατος άνθρωπος, πάρα πολύ ηθικός, που χτίζει όντως την εμπιστοσύνη με τους μαθητές του και είναι μάλιστα, θα έλεγα, motivational teacher. Ναι. Μας κινητοποιεί και είμαι πάρα πολύ περήφανος που έχω αυτόν τον δάσκαλο, γιατί στις πολεμικές τέχνες, όπως σας είχα αναφέρει και σε άλλη συνέντευξη, δεν είναι μόνο το τι κάνουμε στη φυσική μας ικανότητα, αλλά είναι και το τι άνθρωποι είμαστε. Αυτό.
Ωραία.
Συμπληρώσει κάτι τελευταίο. Επίσης θέλω να συμπληρώσω ότι εγώ προσωπικά μετά τον προηγούμενο μου δάσκαλο έμεινα για κάποια χρόνια χωρίς δάσκαλο και έκανα πολύ προσεκτική έρευνα για το πού θα απευθυνθώ. Ναι. Και πραγματικά αυτό που με κάλυπτε πλήρως, ας πούμε, ήταν ο Dai-Sifu Emin Boztepe. Και μετά, όταν τον γνώρισα, έπεσα ευτυχώς μέσα σε όλα αυτά που ήθελα.
Ωραία.
Αυτό.
So your students adore you, just so you know.
Thank you. I adore them too.
There is a connection, it shows. So you train military, police academy, individuals. What was the most fulfilling for you?
Of course, the individuals.
Individuals, really?
I have a relationship for, as I said, over 35, 37, 38 years, some of them. And, they were like 14, 15, 16 years. Now they're fathers. Okay. They have children of 18 years or some of them. And that's fantastic. You watch a young man or woman, you come to your lessons and become a young parent, and then the relationship there, they don't give up, and you are part of their family, you want or not, like you see. Yes. Children grow up and everything. It's a real, that's what martial arts really is. I think the bond is there with the students. So all the other stuff, like government, sometimes teaching a military or teaching a police, for me, it's mostly to help, again, the individual people. Like I teach a lot of hostage rescue team, like special forces for kidnapping and stuff, because I have a son and a daughter, and they can be kidnapped, or my family members, or any of my members of my friends and students, or you maybe, God forbid, yeah. So after the show, so you want a professional people to help you. To free you. I mean, there's negotiations, but then if a SWAT team has to go inside a building and they get surprised and have to fight for their weapon, that's dangerous. If anything happens to them, they cannot help the hostage. So it's all hand in hand. So more secure, more better a system they have to fight a terrorist or something or kidnapper is better for them. But also, like we see again, like in the 70s, again nowadays a repetition of unhappiness of people because of our governments, and then they send the police, and the police become very, very aggressive. Ultimately, police are humans too, and they're afraid too. But they must enforce the law. So better they have a training, more confident they are without a weapon, without a shield or baston to hit you. Better for them, So helps have less violent, not using excessive force. That's confident even for police. But the police cannot run away if there's a guy, even is drunk or something, pulls a knife. The police has to go and take the knife away. You can run away, you're a citizen. But he has to go and take it. So better he is with his body, control and reaction, explosivity and everything. And this also psychologically even more stronger, is better for the civilization in that country,
Λοιπόν, μας είπε ότι παρόλο που έχει εκπαιδεύσει σώματα ασφαλείας, το πιο σημαντικό, αυτό που τον γεμίζει πιο πολύ είναι όταν εκπαιδεύει ανθρώπους μεμονωμένους, γιατί δημιουργείται ένας δεσμός και υπάρχει εμπιστοσύνη και όλο αυτό κρατάει χρόνια. Επίσης όμως μας τόνισε ότι είναι πολύ σημαντικό που τα σώματα ασφαλείας έχουν στην εκπαίδευσή τους τις πολεμικές τέχνες. Είναι πολύ σημαντική η δουλειά που κάνουν και έξω στους δρόμους για την ασφάλεια των πολιτών, όπως επίσης σε περιπτώσεις απαγωγής. Είναι πολύ σημαντικό να υπάρχει στην εκπαίδευσή τους η πρακτική των πολεμικών τεχνών. You were very lucky from where I stand because you discovered your calling at an early age. How a man finds his calling?
Well, as I started with 14 through my late father, so he wanted me in boxing, but there was no boxing in that little town. So I started Taekwondo, Karate, and then the Wing Chun with my former teacher. And, about 2 years into that, you start to get interest, because first was very physical. I just want to, anybody touch me, want to finish him very quickly.
And you were young.
14.
Yeah.
But then with 16, I think I discovered Bruce Lee 2 years later when I was in martial arts. Bruce Lee died in 1973. And I started in 74, 1 year later, but I heard about Bruce Lee like more in 1975, 6. But then I was amazed of his body and everything, and I started to read.
And his wisdom, yes.
His, but also generally Asian philosophy, like Tao Te King, like Sun Tzu, Art of War, and all, or things about General Kwang, the Chinese hero. All this kind of things so interested me, and I didn't understand much with 16, but was very mythic, and I said, wow, but I wanted this with 16 to be my life. This is what I live today, and I decided with 16. So when I was 18, I opened my first school.
That's why I told you you are very lucky.
Yeah.
At an early age.
Sometimes you have to take, you have to create luck, but you have to take the opportunity what is given to you at this time and see what you really want with a passion. And since then, I don't do anything. I do movies. I do lots of lead roles in Turkey, shows, but cinema, like Antidote Panzer or Last Ottoman, and Pusat is I'm like a mafia boss, control the fighting scene, box scenes, like all this kind of type movies, but it's passion. So I do like different acting like the Turkish actors, because I also raised up in America. So I have a little different style. But the thing is it's all passion. So if there's no passion, I don't do anything. Teaching,
yes.
It's I love the Wing Chun and the Eskrima, but it's Wing Chun is a scientific system created by 300 years ago by a Buddhist nun, by a woman.
Yes, Kostas mentioned that the previous time. It's very interesting.
But it's mathematics. See, mathematics has no emotions or feelings. But it's 1 times 1. It's like a guillotine. Outcome is 1, very sharp. That's Wing Chun. It's very, very effective. But then, if you're passionate, where you get back for passion means you give something to people.
Yes.
So people give you recognition. It's another form of love. So we all looking for love. So when I see my students are very happy and sweating and training and they succeed, they receive their next grade or level, and then, but I can see they transform the lessons I give, not just having a certification, but they can transform in physical action, explosivity or power and balance. That makes me happy, but then I see their eyes, and this is the return of your passionate teaching.
Your reward.
So you have to, what I do, you have to love people. If you don't love people, don't become a martial art instructor, no matter what system you teach. So don't teach if you don't like people, because that's very, very important, because it's interactive. You go into people's sometimes psychology, deep psychology, and sometimes their private lives. You know? So you have to love people and be passionate about people to teach martial arts.
Του είπα ότι είναι πολύ τυχερός γιατί βρήκε το κάλεσμά του, την κλίση του από πολύ νωρίς και μιλήσαμε λίγο για το πώς βρίσκει κανείς το κάλεσμά του. Μας είπε ότι όσον αφορά τις πολεμικές τέχνες, είναι πολύ σημαντικό αυτός που θα εξασκηθεί, αυτός που θα γίνει δάσκαλος, να αγαπάει, να βοηθάει τον κόσμο. Εάν δεν υπάρχει αυτό, δεν μπορεί να προχωρήσει να γίνει δάσκαλος. Είπε ότι είναι πολύ σημαντικό να κάνεις αυτό το πράγμα με πάθος, γιατί έτσι μόνο μπορείς να γίνεις και καλός δάσκαλος.
Τους επιστρέφει και πίσω τους μαθητές.
Ναι, και αυτό κιόλας είναι αυτό που παίρνει πίσω ο δάσκαλος. When you experience, because this life is very difficult for all of us, when you experience stress, fear, or any kind of breakdown, what practice do you follow?
I teach.
You teach?
I teach. So when I give a seminar, like later I have our private lesson in Eskrima for Costas, then I have a seminar where Vangelis will assist me and help me too, and they're like 4 or 6 hours, depends, and they fly for me like 10 minutes.
So you work?
That's it, yeah, I work, but it's with people, you know, you see and you explain and you shut out all the rest of the world. You're in a room, and there are the people that are looking at you and they want to learn and they're experimenting. You know, they're having fun too, but also they have to suffer a little bit. They have to sweat and they have to feel their muscle memories and burn their muscles, getting tired. But then you see how they're some people really, really try hard and that fulfills you, so you don't think about your stress, let's say, with the banks, you have to pay your bills. So
yes, exactly.
You don't have the traffic stress of all day with you. You don't bring it there. So I cut this all off, so it's pretty much, since I almost teach every day, so I'm very happy.
Yes. Τον ρώτησα πώς αντιμετωπίζει το στρες στη ζωή του κάθε μέρα και μου απάντησε με την εργασοθεραπεία. Διδάσκει δηλαδή πάρα πολλές ώρες και είναι ο τρόπος, γιατί παίρνει ενέργεια από τον κόσμο, από τους μαθητές του, οπότε είναι ο τρόπος για να αντιμετωπίζει το καθημερινό στρες και άγχος. For me, martial arts is about speed, action, attention, movement. Is that correct?
Of course, it's all a part of it.
Okay. So, what is the best way to motivate people?
Well, I mean, for me, when people hear about me, let's say I guess you have done probably a little research.
Yes.
So you interview me, so then you see all of a sudden YouTube, all the videos,
yes.
You see all the things. That's already, for me, very easy to motivate people because they say, wow.
No, it's not easy. I know that's not easy. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, so but it's easy in that sense that somebody looks to find out who I am.
Yes.
So they're motivated because they make a research, they see, wow, this guy's all over the place, right? But then once they come in the seminar, it's just, they see, oh, then they get excited and they're like, oh, he's this big grandmaster, and they come, oh, that guy's touchable. He's really cool guy, so you can go and speak to him and others. It doesn't like, you know, when you go in a karate, it sends it, it's like a very military.
That? Okay.
Yeah, and then people, they're afraid to ask questions. So, and if the students feel relaxed around me, they'll learn faster because they ask the question. But if you like this guy, like authoritarian, totally, they're scared. You know, they're tense. So, and I want the confidence. So, to gain confidence, you teach them the right way, you deal the right way, and I think they feel and they sense and they get the information about what you just asked. You know, so they feel like comfortable, and then they trust you slowly, and then they become better. You know? So, very important that you are down to earth. Don't be a snob. A lot of martial arts people are a little insecure too, even their teachers. So,
oh, really?
Of course, there's lots of ego. Yeah, sometimes you get a 120 kilo guy come, And the instructor is whatever fifth black belt in karate or whatever. So when this guy is heavy and muscle, now you have to show your technique in front of the student. So he gets insecure too. So see, these are all things doesn't happen to me much because I trained very intense all the other martial arts to know the tactics and strategy of the techniques and mechanism of the movements to understand Wing Chun and Eskrima better. You know? So this is art of war. So when you really martial arts is, despite of those things you just mentioned, speed, power, balance, and all this stuff, but it's also an education in life because martial arts. So it's not sport, not tournament, not like cage fighting.
It's not physical only.
Yeah, you know, like if you look at taekwondo, boxing, it's a lot of sweating and action, which is very, very good. I love that with my way of teaching. So my Wing Chun students have to sweat very hard too, in order to become really good. But you know, like MMA and stuff, all respect, they train really hard, but then there's no history, there's no soul, there's no philosophy, because it's very new. It's just about me. I'm the gladiator. I go fight. I kick everybody's ass. Nobody's better than me. I have the biggest muscles. But you know, this is very selfish, egocentric martial arts for one. But then you go to traditional martial arts, but like jiu-jitsu is traditional, but you learn. If you really go in a good jiu-jitsu school or good karate school, not just Wing Chun, you learn history, you learn the way of Bushido, you know, like the correct way, having character. You form a person's character, being honest and truthful and train hard and give everything you have. So, but also learn about history, you know, about inner balance, about breathing, meditation.
Breathing techniques, okay.
So most of these modern martial arts, they don't have that. It's just punching, kicking, who's the best, ego testosteronic thing. I like all, but the point is just very, very 10% of the real martial arts.
Τον ρώτησα για τον καλύτερο τρόπο που μπορείς να παρακινήσεις μια ομάδα και να την ενθαρρύνεις και μας είπε ότι είναι το να νιώθουν άνετα μαζί σου, γιατί είναι και ένας τομέας που πολλοί δάσκαλοι έχουν ένα τεράστιο εγώ, είναι λίγο snob και έτσι οι μαθητές δεν νιώθουν άνετα, ενώ αν εσύ είσαι προσγειωμένος και ο μαθητής θα νιώσει άνετα μαζί σου, οπότε και θα έχει καλύτερη απόδοση. Τι άλλο μας είπε? Είπε τόσα πολλά, ναι. Η αλήθεια είναι ότι προσπαθώ να κάνω μία απόδοση γιατί είναι πάρα πολύ... είναι χήμαρος. Η αλήθεια είναι. You say so many wise things that I cannot... I don't know what to translate afterwards.
Well,
anyway.
We can continue tomorrow.
Yes. Yes, don't worry. Although I hate the word advice, I hate it because you need to experiment the world all by yourself with ups and downs and trial and errors. So what advice would you give to the younger you back then?
Well,
when you were young at the age of 14, 15?
Well, I mean, I was very angry, of course, of my parents, of my surrounding, of the people.
Okay.
Different country, lived there. I wish I would have more understanding or less angry. But as you just said, you have to be patient and you have.
And
to
you're
experience.
young, you don't know.
Of course, when you don't know, but I matured. All my friends, when I started martial arts with 14, I become 18 professional. They're all 15 years older than me. My best friend today is now almost 68.
Okay.
So I'm turning 55. So, but we're together all these years. So
but this is how you grow when you have friends from different cultures, different ages.
Of course, I mean, if you look at not just martial arts, look at any young people from a third world country who survives and comes to a Western country and he's much more mature, more, because he has so much problems to deal with. So his brain has to work every day how to solve to get the bread on the table, to eat, to find food, maybe as sisters or something, and they work with their parents. You go to any of these countries, and all type of shape of people, and they are mostly successful. You get Mike Tyson, is from a very poor, had no parents, foster home, and become the youngest world champion in boxing. Because of all the anger he had, but I'm sure he regret. He was a very, very rich person and had very bad people around him because he didn't know. And then these guys like Don King, this manager, stole all his money. And if you look at it, because what can you do? So I wish I would be there to give him advice. Even you don't like the word, he needed good advice. He needed good people. So now, he has to work every day. He's trying to be a comedian. He's trying to be an actor to make money because he lost all his money to this criminal.
Okay.
So if he had good people around him, they would have protected him. Real friends, they would have protected him. And he lost $230 million or being stolen. So.
Τώρα τι να πρωτοπώ εδώ πέρα τώρα. Λοιπόν, ήταν θυμωμένος στην ηλικία που ξεκίνησε, όπως είναι και όλοι οι έφηβοι, αλήθεια είναι, και είχε τη δύσκολη αρχή. Οπότε θα πούμε λίγο ότι θα ήθελε να είναι λιγότερο θυμωμένος, αν και είναι λίγο, δεν ήξερε τότε πώς θα... Είμαστε πολύ μικροί για να ξέρουμε. Και μας είπε επίσης ότι έκανε παρέα, είχε φίλους πολύ μεγαλύτερους του. Ο φίλος του τώρα μας είπε ότι είναι 15 χρόνια μεγαλύτερος, δηλαδή είναι 65-70, ενώ αυτός ο ίδιος του είναι 53-54, πόσο είναι? 55 χρονών. Have you ever been afraid?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day. Fear is the natural protection, security. People say they're not afraid.
They're liars.
They have no brain, so no emotions. So without emotions, how can you have not excitement? Like fear is another, or many different ways of fear, right? Excitement for a billiard game, excitement for a box match. You go inside the ring or you're outside, but if you have something to lose, you're afraid. So if it's money, if it's love, if it's whatever, but fight is your life. So it's of course you're afraid. That's why it makes you best. That's why I do what I do best in defending myself and creating a system and make the system even better. Since Wing Chun is the only scientific system, in science there's a word we call evolution. So the Wing Chun I teach 30 years ago is not the same Wing Chun today. And,
oh, really?
Of course.
In what sense?
Because it's mathematics. You enhance the angles, the footwork, the way of thinking and the way you apply every generation. Wing Chun is only 300 years ago. So this Buddhist nun, she was like 1.55 meters.
Okay, yes.
So she did Shaolin Kung Fu, but all the monks are big and stronger. So, but she understood body mechanics, and then, our early scientists are the religious leaders all over the world, So medieval time, 300 years ago. So she understood height, width, depth, time, distance, body mechanics. So she created Wing Chun through mathematics, and then she can overcome those big people.
Okay.
So then she teach Wing Chun, her first student, Wing Chun, and she was threatened by the village bully, big guy. So she learned 2 years old and go back to the village and beat up the guy. So the thing is basically really the Wing Chun way back then is not the same Wing Chun after she passed away 50 years later or 100 years later or from now 100 years back or 50 years ago. And since I teach, I have enhanced the system more than anybody else in this world. It's the same system Bruce Lee learned in Hong Kong. I learned from the same school. So the Yip Man movie. So Grandmaster Yip Man is our grandmaster in the sense of delivered Wing Chun into 20th century.
Okay.
So and thanks God through him because he did so. I met these beautiful people, and all my students in over 50 countries. I teach probably I have more than 1 million people.
You teach in 40 countries?
About 40, 50 countries, a couple hundred schools. But before I represent the other organization, and you student, you have like Brutus or something like this. My teachers backstabbed me. So they did something bad because they didn't like I was too good looking. Like this. So I was too good, and the German teacher I had in Germany was very jealous and me, but he's very proud of me. But he could not handle that I was
the big ego.
Better. And then the Chinese teacher supported him because he paid him money. So there's always characteristic about cultures and things. But Hong Kong Chinese are very, very money oriented and of course very much racist because of the English occupation of Hong Kong, right? So they're very aggressive, and So he sold me out. I said, okay, if you guys don't want me, this happened 17 years ago. Then I created Epmas.
Okay.
And then I met all these beautiful people. And at the time, I helped having 2,800 schools in Europe alone. So when they didn't want me, they destroyed. And now I built up over 600 clubs in 50 countries. And of course, the biggest enemy is always economics. And sadly, like our political leaders, they make everything difficult for the normal person. However, so that's the way it all happened, and Wing Chun is enhanced because more problems you have, more deeper you go. I mean, if you're always, as a country, under attack, you have to have intelligent people to help you how to defend yourself. If you're constantly under attack, you have to develop the best defense system,
Λοιπόν, η συζήτηση ξεκίνησε όταν έχει φοβηθεί και μας είπε ότι φοβάται κάθε μέρα. Γιατί όταν έχεις κάτι να χάσεις, πάντα φοβάσαι και όποιος λέει ότι δεν έχει φοβηθεί λέει ψέματα. Και μετά πήγαμε λίγο στην εξέλιξη του Epmas Wing Chun. Κώστα, θέλεις να μας ξαναπείς λίγο την ιστορία για αυτούς που δεν έχουν ακούσει, για το πώς εφευρέθηκε με τη μοναχή. Κώστας will tell us the story with the monk.
Ήταν γύρω στο 1700. Κάποιοι σε ένα μοναστήρι στην Κίνα είχαν μαζευτεί γύρω στους 5 μεγάλους Grandmaster για να ενώσουν τις τεχνικές τους και τις γνώσεις τους στο να δημιουργήσουν μια τέχνη για να γίνει επανάσταση και να ρίξουν τους Ματζούριους. Κάποιος κατάσκοπος ενημέρωσε για αυτό το πράγμα και έγινε μια πυρκαγιά, δηλαδή εμπρισμός, έκαψαν το μοναστήρι. Η μόνη επιζήσισσα ήταν η μοναχή, λεγόμενη Νιγκ Μούι, η οποία λίγο αργότερα, αφού κρύφτηκε σε κάποιο δάσος για να μην τη βρουν και την σκοτώσουν και αυτήν, γνώρισε μια κοπέλα η οποία έκλαιγε, η οποία ήταν ο πρίγκιπας του χωριού, ήθελε να την παντρευτεί με το ζόρι, με τη βία, και εν τέλει ο μόνος τρόπος για να επιβιώσει και να φύγει από αυτό ήταν να παλέψει μαζί του και να τον νικήσει. Συγκεκριμένη περίπτωση γνωρίστηκε με τη μοναχή. Η μοναχή της δίδαξε το σύστημα και το ονόμασε από το όνομά της, το οποίο ήταν Gim Wing Chun, που σημαίνει παντοτινή άνοιξη, ελπίδα για το μέλλον. Και βέβαια κατάφερε να τον νικήσει, έγινε ηρωίδα του χωριού, δίδαξε το σύστημα στον άντρα της και από εκεί και πέρα μετά συνεχίστηκε το σύστημα γενεολογικά και έφτασε από οικογένεια σε οικογένεια μέχρι που έφτασε στον Grandmaster Yip Man, από εκεί στον Bruce Lee και διαδόθηκε στον κόσμο, και βέβαια στο δάσκαλό μας τον Dai-Sifu Emin Boztepe, ο οποίος το έχει διαδώσει ακόμα περισσότερο, έχει εμπλουτίσει την ύλη του και το έχει εκμοντερνήσει.
Ναι, αυτό μας είπε. Και ότι διδάσκει σε 40 χρόνια.
Σε 40 χώρες, ναι. Περίπου 50.000 μαθητές.
500 τόσες, 480 κάτι σχολές, 48 χώρες, 47.
Και το εμπλούτησε, μας είπε.
Ναι. Συγκεκριμένα, ναι, το όντως το έχει εμπλουτίσει και το έχει εξελίξει, ας πούμε, με έναν τρόπο, ας πούμε, που βασικά η ίδια η μοναχή είχε ξεκινήσει, όπως είπε και ο ίδιος, είχε αντιλήφθηκε, ας πούμε, τα μαθηματικά και τον τρόπο, ας πούμε, το οποίο κινείται ένα σώμα γυναικείο ιατρικό, και από εκεί και πέρα το έκανε πράξη ο Σίφου και διδάσκει και τη θεωρία, το οποίο είναι στην ουσία μαθηματικά και εξέλιξη πάνω στο ίδιο το ανθρώπινο σώμα.
Λοιπόν, διάβασα προηγουμένως, να με βοηθήσετε κι εσείς, ότι έχει κάνει μία μάχη, αγώνα με τον William Chang. Okay. Ο οποίος είναι Traditional Wing Chun Kung Fu Master.
Νομίζω ότι πρέπει να απαντήσει ο ίδιος.
Ναι. Okay. What went through your mind when you were about to have this fight, and what happened afterwards? I mean, was that intimidating?
Well, it's like over 30 years old. Oh, mamma mia. It's the only way when you come with this that I feel I age. So, well, this guy is seeing like an older brother, like Van Gaze is seeing of Costas, right? So Costas is Bruce Lee, Van Gaze is William Choi. So they trained 1 year difference.
Okay.
They trained in Hong Kong under Grandmaster Yip Man. Just imagine this, right? So, and when he become 18, Bruce Lee before 18 has to go to San Francisco, America, because he's born to get claim his citizenship for US. And William Chong went to Australia. They never saw each other again.
They never saw each other again?
And then also Bruce Lee never had lessons from Grandmaster Yip Man again. So he was just about 18. to claim this citizenship.
Just wait a second να το μεταφράσουμε λίγο, να με βοηθήσετε και εσείς να μην χάσουμε τίποτα γιατί είναι σημαντικό. Αυτός που είπαμε, ο William Tzun, ήταν φίλοι με τον Bruce Lee, ήταν συμμαθητές. Και ήταν, πώς μου το είπες, σύχην ο ένας.
Ήταν ο ένας λίγο παλαιότερος.
Στο μικρόφωνο κοντά. Για πες μου.
Ο άλλος ήταν λίγο παλαιότερος από τον άλλον.
Ωραία.
Ο William Tzun δηλαδή, του Bruce Lee.
Ωραία.
Αργότερα μετά για κάποιους λόγους ο Bruce Lee έφυγε στην Αμερική και ο William Tzun στην Αυστραλία.
Ωραία. Okay.
So, just to make the story more understand. So, in 1972, late Grandmaster Yip Man dies.
Okay.
And Bruce Lee died 1 year later. So, William Chong in Australia, they never met again. So, and William Chong, I assume he stopped training, but he took an opportunity to be the boss of all the Wing Chun people in the world.
Okay.
So, he created a propaganda machine, like people and newspapers, all, and they start to make interviews all over the world because he's the seeing of Bruce Lee, and who doesn't know Bruce Lee?
Yes, right? Everybody.
So, but he never met Bruce Lee again after 18 years. When he was 18, so he was about 40 years old. So many years passed. Bruce Lee died when he was 32 years. Never saw Bruce Lee. There's one letter between. Bruce Lee wrote him a letter, when I see you next time, like we will make a match and then I will beat you. Because at the time, William Chong in Hong Kong was, for Chinese, he was very strong built and he was unbeaten. But they're kids, so people make so much big, like a 15 and 16, 17-year-old kid fighting a rooftop in Hong Kong. It looks like a Batman fighting Superman, like for the martial arts people, but they're children. Dangerous if there's a knife or they fall down from a roof, but how much and how bad can a 15-year-old or 16-year-old child fight?
Yes.
I think probably even the people in Brazil and the favelas are more dangerous to children because they're everyday fighting. So, however, they never saw, but they have this big
rivalry
phenomenon.
Okay.
He's unbeaten. So anyway, I personally think he stopped for many years, but then when they all die, he took the opportunity. Tried to make himself the boss of all the Wing Chun people in the world. So he challenged everybody and he talked bad about my teachers then, the Chinese guy and the German guy, and said their students are all fat. So I was their students and I'm not fat and I was very fit. And talked very bad things about my teachers. So I'm heritage is Turkish and Greek too. Family is everything for us. Family is, nobody talks bad about your father, your mother.
True.
And he was doing this, and then he challenged anywhere, any place, any time. So he came to Germany, to Cologne, 80 students in seminars, and I went with a cameraman and few people that just to watch my back, but they were there. Nobody interfered. So I went, and then the seminar started. He passed me 3 times, and I was making absurd movements, like very wrong movements, and he goes, "Oh, very good," and he continues. That upset me.
He was challenging you.
No, he just didn't care.
Oh,
now I'm a passionate teacher. I don't let if I see my student do something wrong, I go and say, "Hey, you change this. It's better this way. Do it this way, right?" So he didn't care really, and that made me inside angry. But before that, of course, I trained, and I was very fit anyway. But I trained hard, and I was very excited, afraid too in a way, but I was very confident of myself. Because I had so many fights, in real fights.
Confidence is everything.
Yeah, I know how it's going to be. I mean, okay, they make all this story in Chinese called dim maka, the iron fist, or the touch where you die in 24 hours. If the sunshine is the right and the temperature and the wind is the correct way, you die of a touch. So all this kind of stupid stuff, like Chinese like these things, they're put out that he was a grandmaster of these kind of things. So I said, okay, well, hey, let's try my chance. So I went there because I was very angry, even though I had this poster on my wall with Bruce Lee because he was a seeing of Bruce Lee. But then I get very upset because he started to insult my teachers, myself indirectly, and Grandmaster Yip Man. What many people don't know, Grandmaster Yip Man died on throat cancer. And the British are guilty of a lot of things. They brought opium to China, like the Boxer Rebellion in 1900s, if you know. This is all against the British occupation, but the British bring drugs, opium, and all the Chinese, even today, all Chinese smoke opium. Because they had cancer, and opium make the pain go away.
Okay.
And William Chong was actually one of the people, he brought him opium. But he was bad-mouthing they grabbed Master Yip Man that he took opium, and that I think was under the belt. This you don't do this.
Okay.
He's a sick man, old man. He's gonna die, and then you have to bring this. It's like medicine.
You need to show respect. Yes.
So all this wiped me up. So I was not afraid of dying and this, but I was excited. It's like a box match or something. But of course, fear is there. But I went, and then after 3 times, I didn't speak any English. I learned my lines. I took the article with me, where he said, anywhere, any place, showed him, are you ready? I'm going to fight you now, and say 1, 2, 3. First he goes, no, 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 then he puts his hand up, and then rest is history.
And the rest is history.
Second he was finished. And
oh, that soon?
Yeah. I hit him 11 times, but not aggressive, because I'm very, very aggressive. But those days, I mean, I had a lot of power, so a lot of really bad fights in Germany, but I could have really hurt him, but I just controlled him, and he tried, but he had no chance. I was on top of him, put him on the floor, and give him 2 or 3 elbows, and then after 27 seconds, one of his students pulled me back.
Okay.
And that's it. And then they helped him up, and then they would lock the door. So my cameraman ran out of the window with the camera, jumped, and then escaped with it. So we had a video that he lost. But then he made many, many lies, 15 different stories. I always took the same story. So, all that stuff. But anyway, it's history, so that's the way it starts,
Λοιπόν, τώρα θα με βοηθήσετε εδώ λίγο τώρα γιατί ξέρετε και την ιστορία. Λοιπόν, αυτός όπως τον είπαμε, William Chang, μετά το θάνατο του Bruce Lee, ήθελε να διεκδικήσει.
Μετά το θάνατο του Yip Man.
Μετά
το θάνατο του Yip Man, ήθελε να διεκδικήσει, στην ουσία ήθελε να είναι αυτός ο καλύτερος. Ο πρώτος που θα έφτιαχνε ομοσπονδία Wing Chun.
Ωραία.
Αλλά ωστόσο.
Και προκαλούσε διάφορο κόσμο τότε.
Και είναι και διάφορα ψέματα που δεν ισχύουν. Το οποίο αυτό ήταν αρκετά προσβλητικό και για τον ίδιο τον Dai-Sifu, ο οποίος διδασκόταν από έναν άλλον Κινέζο συμμαθητή του William Chang και λέει και κακά πράγματα για αυτόν, αλλά και για τους μαθητές του δασκάλου του. Οπότε και αυτό συμπεριλάμβανε και τον ίδιο τον
κοντά στο μικρόφωνο.
Και αυτό συμπεριλάμβανε και τον ίδιο τον Dai-Sifu.
Και τελικά δέχτηκε την πρόκληση.
Δεν είναι ακριβώς
πρόκληση. Παύλα πρόσκληση.
Ναι, πήγε μόνος του με 4 άτομα. Δηλαδή σε ένα σεμινάριο που ήταν 80 άτομα.
Ναι.
Δεν ήταν καμιά πρόκληση. Ο William Chang έδινε προσκλήσεις σε όλους.
Ναι,
Δηλαδή, αν μιλήσουμε για το ποιος είναι ο κακός παύλα άνθρωπος.
Και σε μία μάχη που κράτησε πολύ σύντομα κιόλας. 28 δευτερόλεπτα.
Το βίντεο παντού.
Στο YouTube.
Φυσικά οι μαθητές του και ο ίδιος, όπως είπε και ο Sifu, έχουν βγάλει 5 διαφορετικές εκδόσεις αυτής της ιστορίας.
Ναι,
δηλαδή δεν είναι μόνο ψέματα.
What is more important? Speed, strength, confidence?
All of it.
All of it.
Of course. If you have no speed, you cannot escape the attack, or you cannot be faster than the enemy. If you don't have power, if you're fast and you hit the guy, there's no result. You don't knock him out. He keep attacking you. Confident, you run away. You're afraid. So all is a matter of balance. That you have balance of power, explosivity, speed. Everything is important.
Και μας είπε φυσικά ότι είναι σημαντικό τόσο η ταχύτητα και η δύναμη αλλά και η αυτοπεποίθηση. Πρέπει να είναι όλα σε μια ισορροπία για τον σωστό πολεμιστή. There is a saying that says, choose your battles, your fights wisely. Some of them are not worth fighting. Have you ever regretted a fight?
Well, this is a situation now. If you are the one going to pick a fight, then you have a decision. But then you sit in a bar with friends or your family and some punk come and attack you.
Yes.
So you cannot choose it.
Yes.
How can you choose wisely if you're all of a sudden being attacked, right? So that's one thing. But then, if you're famous in martial arts, there's like a cowboys, like who's the fastest shooter. So happens, people challenge you. But I never insulted people. I always had people challenge me and they want something I never had. I'm not a world champion. I don't have a gold medal. All what I'm known is like I had a lot of fights, real fights, and I'm just a great teacher and help students, help people. But even these people want whatever they think. They want the chair you sit. They want your name because you're being in all over the world in every martial art magazine and stuff, right? So it's always this ego, but I don't have nothing to give to them. And it's like today everybody wants to become the next Bruce Lee. There's only one Bruce Lee. He's dead.
Yes.
God bless him. But he gave lots of motivation. Wonderful guy. And you watch his movies, it's like James Dean in acting. And then you watch today's movies, there's body, coordination, speed, explosivity, charisma. It motivates and you go and train. What can you do more? You know, what Bruce Lee really wanted, he wanted to live my life I live today. He wanted a lot of schools and teach. And then I do movies, but see, I'm successful in this, but I wasn't successful big ass Bruce Lee in the movies. So, you know, like then you have people like Steven Seagal. He's a movie star, did Aikido, but now he's so fat. And you know, he should teach people. He should give something to people, but they're just ego. You know, now he's like bigger than a sumo. And then you have people like Van Damme. Use martial arts, become a big superstar, and then a lot of drugs, alcohol, and all the other stuff. So you don't do this, you know. So I have a very past, clean. Everybody can follow me, and I never stop 41 years training and teaching. So that's what the martial art is really is.
Λοιπόν, τον ρώτησα για αυτή τη φράση που λέει ότι πρέπει να είμαστε προσεκτικοί για τις μάχες που ξεκινάμε, γιατί κάποιες δεν αξίζουν. Και μας είπε ότι είναι από τη μία οι μάχες στις οποίες εμείς ξεκινάμε, που εκεί μπορεί να συμβεί αυτό, αλλά είναι και οι άλλες οι μάχες στις οποίες μας προκαλούν. Παραδείγματος χάρη σε ένα μπαρ, ας πούμε, ή οπουδήποτε αλλού, και εκεί δεν έχουμε και πολύ περιθώριο επιλογής. Και μετά να με βοηθήσουν λίγο και οι μαθητές του τι είπε, γιατί είπε πάλι πάρα πολλά πράγματα.
Είπε ότι πρέπει πάντα να είναι κανείς προετοιμασμένος, ένας άνθρωπος των πολεμικών τεχνών, και ότι πρέπει να ελέγχει τον εγωισμό του, ότι πρέπει να ελέγχει και το σώμα του και το νου του. Μίλησε για κάποιους διάσημους για τους οποίους έχουν χάσει τη φυσική τους κατάσταση.
Όπως το Στίβεν Σιγκάλ που ανέφερε.
Όπως ο
Σπάχινε, λέει.
Μίλησε για ανθρώπους που εθίστηκαν σε ναρκωτικές ουσίες και ήταν πολύ διάσημοι, ας πούμε, στις πολεμικές τέχνες κτλ. Είπε πάρα πολλά πράγματα.
Ναι. Λέμε ό,τι μπορούμε για την απόδοση. Θα γράψουμε κιόλας πολλά από αυτά που είπε στα social media.
Θα ήθελα να το ρωτήσεις, ποια είναι η διαφορά του Wing Chun Kung Fu με όλα τα άλλα τα υπόλοιπα συστήματα πολεμικών τεχνών?
Να απάντησε όλα αυτά, απαντήσει ξεχωριστά.
What's the difference between Wing Chun Kung Fu and the rest of the martial arts?
Well, the biggest difference that Wing Chun is a scientific system. It's the only scientific system.
Μας λέει ότι είναι επιστημονικό σύστημα. In what sense?
Look, like Jiu-Jitsu, it's a human created ideas of locks and submissions. It's like wrestling, right?
Okay.
But Wing Chun has like an airbag. You know how you build an airbag in a car? You have a 3-dimension. The ball, its height, width, depth, and then energy, right? To blow up. So we have this. We have like our position. If you look at the boxer, all their guard is very close to their head, so they have no depth. If the punch comes, they must escape by fencing with the body, right?
Okay.
But they have no protection with the hands much. So a boxer has very, very powerful punches. But look, he cannot defend his own punches because he gets hit all the time. You know, boxers knows.
Yes.
So there's a 3 minutes round in boxing, 1,000 punch. 500 land, so I hit you 250, you hit me 250. So how can you be in the street surviving with 250? You have like a hamburger face, you know, if you hit. So self-defense scientifically means you have the best protection, like an airbag in a car. So that's why we're here. If it's like an umbrella, you open, somebody punch, I go, and then I cut the force. If the force is stronger, then my arms like a spring. They form around your energy, like an airbag in your face. You take your face very soft, you don't hit the cockpit.
So it's geometry and mathematics.
Physics of energy, geometry, but of course chemi. So you have to be explosive. Remember, you speak earlier about speed. So if I can launch my hands very fast up, so I create explosivity, right?
Okay.
So speed is like the gas behind the steering wheel on the airbag in the car. Is lighter than oxygen, so it blows up, right? So it's the same with us as fear. Fear creates adrenaline. That's a chemical. So science means we use everything. To create a static in your position of your arm, you need a skeleton. To generate energy, you need your muscles. But all together, the mathematics of your footwork, constellation with your arm techniques to borrow the enemy's force and divert it.
Okay.
And then hit the same time. While you defend with one arm, you hit the same time while the person is still attacking. So you always even kick the same time. You're 3 steps ahead of your enemy.
Μας εξηγεί λοιπόν ότι το Wing Chun, καλά δεν το ήξερα εγώ όλα αυτά εδώ, είναι ένα σύστημα το οποίο έχει να κάνει με μαθηματικά, με γεωμετρία, με φυσική. Είναι όλα υπολογισμένα σε ισορροπία για να λειτουργήσει, και χημεία μας ανέφερε. Πολύ ενδιαφέρον. Και διαφέρει πάρα πολύ με τις υπόλοιπες πολεμικές τέχνες. Δεν είπαμε στην αρχή, what's a Dai-Sifu? We didn't say about that. We didn't explain what is Dai-Sifu.
Dai-Sifu. A Sifu is a paternal father, like a father.
Okay.
So the hierarchy is like a normal family system.
Okay.
You have your father, you have your grandfather, right?
So the grandfather is the Shifu.
Yes, let's say your uncles are all in the room. They all have families, right?
Okay.
So your father is the oldest. You call him then Dai-Sifu.
Dai-Sifu,
So he's
okay.
the oldest father in the room,
Okay.
right? So then you're the older sister, but you have 10 other sisters in the room. You're the Dai-Siche. Siche is older sister.
Okay.
Simui is younger sister.
Okay.
But then you have brothers. It's the same. Dai-Sihing is the oldest brother. So like I have produced more than 200 Sifus of my students.
How many?
More than 200.
Wow.
Over the 37 years. And see, if they're all in the room, I'm the Dai-Sifu. If I leave the room, the next who was first Sifu, the oldest, he's the Dai-Sifu.
Okay.
So it's not like just attached to me.
Okay.
You know, for these 2 guys, I'm very simple. I'm the Sifu. I'm the Kung Fu father. But if they come to another seminar and the other of our organization, another Sifus, then people address me Dai-Sifu, but privately always say Sifu to me. It's very like you tell my name, so that means we're close. They never say Emin Sifu. If you say Emin Sifu, you're from a different Kung Fu style, a Sifu.
Okay.
But if you're from the Wing Chun style, you say Sifu Emin.
Okay.
Right? The first is Sifu. But then if you're his direct Sifu, you can have only, like in life, only one real father. So then they just say Sifu to me. This means you're personal and close.
Ωραία. Θα με βοηθήσετε λίγο σε αυτό όλο τώρα. Dai-Sifu είναι ο πιο μεγάλος.
Ο πιο μεγάλος, αν είναι όλοι οι πατέρες σε ένα δωμάτιο,
ναι.
Αυτοί που μας διδάσκουν οι δάσκαλοι, τότε ο πιο παλιός δάσκαλος είναι ο Dai-Sifu. Μάλιστα.
Για τις γυναίκες,
η πιο παλιά μητέρα, ας πούμε, δασκάλα είναι η Dai-Sifu. Μπορεί τα αδέρφια μας τα μεγαλύτερα, ο πιο μεγάλος αδερφός είναι ο Dai-Sihing και ο αδερφός είναι ο Sihing.
Μάλιστα.
Και αναλόγως το πώς μπαίνει, σε ποια σειρά μπαίνει το όνομα και η προσφώνηση έχει να δείχνει από ποιο σύστημα κουνγκ-φου προέρχεσαι. Στο δικό μας, ας πούμε, λέμε πρώτα Sifu και μετά το όνομα.
Μάλιστα.
Και λέει μάλιστα ότι εμείς τον αποκαλούμε Sifu και όχι Dai-Sifu όταν είμαστε στο προσωπικό επίπεδο. Αλλά γιατί ένας πατέρας υπάρχει σε μια οικογένεια. Αλλά όταν είναι σε μεγάλο σεμινάριο, τότε πρόκειται για Dai-Sifu.
Μάλιστα.
If you permit me to say, so let's say this summer camp we have in Evia, the island in July.
5 με 10 Ιουλίου.
Θα μας τα πείτε όλα στο τέλος τι ετοιμάζετε. Okay.
So it's a 5-day summer camp and then my Todai is my Kung Fu son, Todai. He will be announced by me, promoted to Sifu.
Ah, okay.
So, but it's not that easy. So see, a Sifu is a leader. It's not to do with how much technique you know, right? But it's a philosophical, but also responsibility for your students. Because once you're a Sifu, you create a next generation of students. You're responsible. You can have hundreds of brothers, hundreds of sisters, but you can only one father and only one mother.
Okay.
So therefore, he's always directly responsible to each student after that date. But now to get his, he has to do. He's not just getting a certification. So he has to write an essay about Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, and explain them in the Chinese living. You know, Buddhism, you know, is like a religion. Taoism and Confucianism is lifestyle. But then how do Asians live? And then how do we implicate practically and physically this in the Wing Chun? So the Sifu and Sihing and all this is Confucianism. You know, Confucius created the diplomacy for politics so that we don't kill each other.
Okay.
He was the first guy created. So there you have to have respect for the elders. You have to have respect for the positions. It's pretty much like the Greek created the modern democracy. I've been seeing Greeks. So if you don't have respect, you can have no dialogues. If you have no dialogues or diplomacy, you always kill each other. So basically, Confucius was one of these first way of interacting with respect. And some people are designed for certain positions. Some people can work there, and some people never can do that. But you have to respect each position. However, so he has to do this, and Taoism, which is the base foundation of Wing Chun, is equal balance, is yin and yang.
Yes, you know? That's life.
So that's what he has to explain also how we use this practically in Wing Chun. And then, of course, Buddhism, you know, like, so how we use this in Wing Chun, you know? So you train very hard, you suffer. Buddhism deals with suffering this planet to be ready for incarnation, for the next life, right? So you don't care about Ferraris and castles and fashion.
And be more spiritual.
Yes, that's it. So.
What are you up to next? Where are you going?
Well, first I'm going to teach tonight, and then a seminar, and then I hope you join us for dinner with all the class. You meet some other Kung Fu.
I will try.
If you have time. And tomorrow I will be in Budapest.
Okay.
Very early flight, and then in the late evening.
For seminars.
I will be in Istanbul.
Okay.
And then I drive 3 hours later. I sleep 3 hours, and I drive by car to Ankara.
Okay.
Teach, and then I will be 1 week in my hometown because I have a construction. So I have a private life. But I have students there. I have 3 schools there too. So I give private lesson, take care of my construction, and then weekend I have in Turkey, around Turkey, all over seminars. And then I'm back in Germany, and then I think England, and then
in Greece, when are you coming back?
For the summer camp in July.
Πείτε μας λίγο για το...
Can you tell again?
Dai-Sifu θα ξαναέρθει τον Ιούλιο 5 με 10 του μηνός στα Βασιλικά Ευβοίας, το οποίο οργανώνουμε ένα σεμινάριο πενταήμερο, το οποίο θα περιλαμβάνει την ύλη μας, τις εξετάσεις μας, και είναι ανοιχτό σε όλους. Μπορούν να έρθουν να συμμετέσχουν με κάποιο αντίτιμο. Θα
περάσουμε εμείς όλες τις πληροφορίες και εσύ θα ανακηρυχτείς τι μας είπε.
Μου είπε.
Να το πούμε, πώς θα γίνει.
Ναι, δεν μ' άρεσε και πολύ να μιλάει για τον εαυτό μου.
Δεν πειράζει, πρέπει να το πούμε όμως.
Θέλω ότι θα με ανακηρύξει Σίφου, ο οποίο είναι δάσκαλος.
Που μας είπε ότι ο Σίφου είναι μεγάλη ευθύνη. Έτσι.
Ναι, γιατί.
Έχεις υπό την ευθύνη σου πολύ κόσμο μετά.
Είναι όποιος ασχολείται με την ΕΠ μας και το Tzun είναι στην ουσία υπευθύνη μου.
Ναι.
Στην ουσία, και ακόμα και τώρα εγώ το θεωρώ υπευθύνη μου, γι' αυτό κιόλας μάλλον με διάλεξη. Γιατί εγώ θεωρώ τον εαυτό μου αρκετά υπεύθυνο σε σχέση με αυτό. Και γι' αυτό και ο Σίφου διάλεξε από μόνος του να μου δώσει αυτή το.
Is there a ritual for this?
Yes, you have to make 1,000 push-ups. No, not a ritual, but okay. There's very simple. Even new beginners, never done martial arts, they can come to summer camp. In 5 days, you learn a lot. It's like 4 hours Wing Chun, and then if enough people, we do Eskrima, 2 hours. If more people, I can do 8 hours a day. So they learn. So non-members come, and then my students, of course, there, and everybody can join. It's open seminar, and you learn, and it's very good. Actually, first time to have an introduction in both systems, and that's the best way to do it. And I think, of course, our enemy is always the economics. So it's a 5-day, but people can adjust their budget. They can come 3 days. They can do only Wing Chun, only Eskrima, can 2 days or 5 days. So we help them to have a chance to come and train.
Είναι ένα σεμινάριο, ένα boot camp τέλος πάντων που απευθύνεται σε όλους, ακόμα και αυτούς που δεν έχουν ασχοληθεί, και μπορείτε να πάτε και λιγότερες μέρες. Θα δώσουμε τα στοιχεία που θα μας δώσουν τα παιδιά. Πείτε μας λίγο πού μπορεί να σας βρει κανείς.
Εμένα ως εκπαιδευτής που είμαι ο Κώστας Ζωγανωτής, μπορεί να με βρει στη Θεσσαλονίκη στο site mas.pavlathes.gr ή στο Facebook με την επωνυμία μου.
Θα δώσουμε και το όνομά σου και όλα φυσικά πάλι.
Στο κινητό το οποίο μπορείτε να το δώσετε, και τον Βαγγέλη που είναι και αντιπρόσωπος Ελλάδας και είναι στην Αθήνα.
Εμένα μπορεί να με βρουν στην Αθήνα. Φυσικά εννοείται μπορεί να με βρουν στο Facebook στη σελίδα Ebmas Greece. Και στην Αθήνα αυτή τη στιγμή η σχολή λειτουργεί στα Εξάρχεια, Ζωοδόχου Πηγής και Σόλωνος.
Ναι.
Και
έχετε Facebook page και τα λοιπά, θα τα δώσουμε και αυτά όλα.
Απλά επειδή είναι σε μια φάση μετάβαση, δηλαδή από Ιούνιο θα είμαι κάπου αλλού, επειδή θέλω μεγαλύτερη σχολή.
Ωραία. Θα δώσουμε το προσωπικό σου τότε.
Οπότε,
θα βάλουμε το δικό σου το προφίλ.
Είμαι στην Αθήνα, είμαι εκπρόσωπος Ελλάδος, και και παράλληλα μπορούν να με καλέσουν για σεμινάριο ή για προσωπικά μαθήματα.
Ωραία, τέλεια. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No, I really enjoyed our conversation.
And believe me, we really, really thank you too.
No, I thank you.
Okay.
So, if anyone wants to find you, I will pass the details and your contacts on our website and on our social media.
Thank you.
Dai-Sifu Emin Boztepe.
They just go YouTube, they see millions of videos.
I did. I watched your videos.
You can watch my movie too in German, English subtitles, Panzehir, Antidote, HD, full film.
You need to write this down for me.
You watch the movie, it's good.
And I will write it down for my followers. What's that?
Panzehir is in Turkish means antidote.
Okay.
You know, like anti-poison.
Yes. Okay. We will.
Or you can also antidote.
It's a Greek word, you know that. Antidote.
Yes. So I'm poisoned. I will die in 6 hours if I don't kill all the mafia. It's 2 years before John Wick. You know John Wick?
Yes, yes.
So they stole my idea.
Okay, we will watch it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank
Ευχαριστούμε και εσάς, παιδιά.
Ευχαριστούμε και εμείς.
Ευχαριστούμε.
Ευχαριστούμε και εσάς που μας ακούσατε. Φιλιά πολλά, γεια σας.